Did you know that something as simple as salt holds hidden secrets that have been mentioned in the Quran for centuries? These small grains carry lessons about balance, protection, and gratitude that can change how you see Islam forever. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover will open your eyes to the divine wisdom hidden in everyday life. Salt is a powerful example of the perfect balance Allah has placed in His creation. Though it appears simple and ordinary, salt is essential for life. In the right amount, it preserves food, supports the body, and enhances nourishment. In excess, however, it becomes harmful. This delicate balance reflects a profound Quranic lesson. Everything Allah created has a precise measure and purpose. The Quran repeatedly reminds us that Allah created all things in due proportion. Salt quietly teaches the principle of moderation, wasatiyah, which is central to Islam. Just as too little or too much salt disrupts health, imbalance in life, whether in worship, wealth, emotions, or desires, leads to harm. Allah calls believers to follow a middle path, one rooted in wisdom and restraint. Salt also exists in the vast oceans, sustaining marine life and regulating the earth ecosystem. Its presence is not random but divinely measured. This balance in nature points to Allah's absolute control and knowledge over all things, from the smallest grain to the greatest sea. Reflecting on salt deepens our understanding of Tawheed. It reminds us that nothing in creation is meaningless or accidental. Every element serves a role within Allah's design. When believers recognize this balance, they begin to see Islam not only as a religion of rituals, but as a complete system that aligns human life with the harmony of creation. Through salt, Allah teaches us that balance is the foundation of health, faith, and a meaningful life. Salt serves as a quiet reminder of Allah's blessing of pure and useful provision. In the Quran, Allah draws attention to different types of water, fresh and salty, each created with wisdom and benefit. While fresh water quenches thirst, salty water sustains oceans, preserves food, and supports countless forms of life. This diversity in provision shows that Allah's mercy reaches every corner of creation in perfectly designed ways. Often people overlook simple blessings because they seem ordinary. Salt is inexpensive, widely available, and easily ignored. Yet life without it would be extremely difficult. This teaches a powerful lesson in gratitude, shukr. Allah provides not only what is luxurious, but what is necessary. True provision is not always grand. Sometimes it is subtle, consistent, and essential. Islam emphasizes consuming what is halal and tayyib, lawful and pure. Salt in its natural form represents this principle. It is a clean, beneficial provision that supports health and sustenance when used correctly. By reflecting on such simple blessings, believers learn to appreciate Allah's care in the smallest details of daily life. This reminder reshapes how we see Islam. Faith is not limited to prayer and fasting. It extends to recognizing Allah's mercy in our food, water, and sustenance. When we acknowledge even small provisions as gifts from Allah, our hearts grow content, humble, and deeply grateful. Through salt, Allah teaches us that His blessings surround us constantly, often in the simplest forms. The Quran mentions the phenomenon of two bodies of water meeting, one sweet and one salty, without mixing completely, highlighting Allah's precise design and control over creation. This meeting teaches profound lessons about boundaries, balance, and divine wisdom. Just as salt and fresh water maintain distinct characteristics despite proximity, everything in life exists according to Allah's measured decree. Nothing occurs randomly. Every element has a purpose and limit. For believers, this natural phenomenon is a reminder of order in the universe. Just as Allah has set physical boundaries, He also establishes spiritual, moral, and social boundaries to guide humanity. Maintaining these boundaries ensures harmony, protects us from harm, and allows life to thrive. Observing the meeting of these waters encourages reflection on the importance of respecting limits in all aspects of life, whether in relationships, wealth, or personal desires. Moreover, the interaction of salt and fresh water illustrates the balance between contrasting elements. The two types of water coexist without destroying each other, showing that difference and diversity are part of Allah's wisdom. This teaches patience, tolerance, and understanding in human interaction. When we reflect on this miracle, it deepens our awareness of Allah's meticulous planning and sustenance. Even ordinary natural events are reminders of His infinite knowledge. Through this example, believers are called to appreciate the precision, order, and mercy embedded in Allah's creation and to live in harmony with His guidance. Salt is not only a seasoning or a nutrient, it is a remarkable symbol of preservation and protection, both in the physical world and as a reflection of Allah's wisdom. In nature, salt prevents decay, preserves food, and maintains balance in ecosystem. This ability to safeguard life mirrors a broader principle in Islam. Allah protects His creation, providing sustenance, guidance, and security in ways that often go unnoticed. From an Islamic perspective, the qualities of salt remind believers that protection is a sign of Allah's mercy. Just as salt prevents spoilage and maintains freshness, Allah safeguards the heart of a believer who trusts Him, preserves the soul through obedience, and shields from spiritual harm through guidance. It demonstrates that preservation is not passive. It requires awareness, care, and the recognition of divine wisdom in everyday life. Furthermore, salt's role in sustaining life emphasizes the importance of valuing the small, consistent blessings Allah provides. The protective qualities of such simple substances are a metaphor for the subtle ways Allah intervenes to safeguard us from harm. Being mindful of these signs nurtures gratitude, strengthens faith, and encourages reliance on Allah's care rather than solely on worldly means. Salt teaches that preservation, whether of food, health, or spirituality, is purposeful and divinely orchestrated. Reflecting on this encourages believers to recognize Allah's continuous protection and to align their actions with gratitude, mindfulness, and obedience, ensuring their lives remain secure under His guidance. Salt, though ordinary and often overlooked, carries a profound lesson, an invitation to gratitude for the simple blessings that surround us every day. It is inexpensive, widely available, and easily taken for granted. Yet, its absence would dramatically affect our lives. This reminds believers that Allah's mercy and provision are not limited to the grand or extraordinary. The small, consistent gifts of life are equally worthy of appreciation. In Islam, gratitude is a central practice. Being thankful is not only a matter of words but also of awareness, recognizing the countless ways Allah sustains, protects, and provides for us. Salt exemplifies this principle. It sustains health, preserves food, and enhances nourishment, all of which are critical for daily living. By reflecting on such simple provisions, the believer learns humility, mindfulness, and contentment. Moreover, small blessings often go unnoticed because they are woven seamlessly into daily life. Islam teaches that noticing and appreciating these blessings strengthens faith, softens the heart, and fosters constant remembrance of Allah. Gratitude for what may seem ordinary transforms the way a believer interacts with the world, turning routine into worship and cultivating a heart attuned to Allah's care. Salt, in its simplicity, becomes a metaphor for the many subtle favors Allah bestows. By pausing to recognize and give thanks for these overlooked gifts, believers deepen their spiritual awareness and cultivate an enduring sense of contentment and connection with their Creator.